We move on tonight to some local news of the evening.
That's right. We're following a tragedy in College Park where two students with promising futures are dead and a third is hurt after an apparent murder-suicide.
And as we learn more about the suspect and the victim here, the more questions arise tonight. What we know is that it all unfolded inside a home just off campus in College Park. ABC 7 Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell begins our coverage now from the scene. Brad?
Well, Allison, all that shooting did take place around this home. It's rented to students, and in fact, the suspect ultimately is believed to have shot himself and fallen just about right here. It is an all too familiar story. The shooter is described as a gifted student, yet he's suffering from mental illness. He was being treated for mental illness. He starts to gather weapons, and for some reason early this morning, he turned violent. The peace of this off-campus student neighborhood was shattered at about 1 a.m.
We heard about 10 shots fired.
There was a guy lying on the front steps of that house.
It was a murder-suicide. Two students lay dead, a third injured. Police say the man on the front steps was the shooter, 23-year-old Dayvon Green, a grad student and decorated scholar. He is believed to have killed himself after killing his roommate, 22-year-old Maryland senior Stephen Rain, and wounding another housemate, also a student. Chip Cobb lives next door.
For me, I'm grateful that I'm alive.
Police say it all began when Green started these small fires in the backyard of the home on 36th Avenue. The roommate spotted the flames and went outside. That's when Green pulled out a 9mm handgun and opened fire, eventually turning the gun on himself. Police found the gun with his body and more weapons inside.
A baseball bat, a machete, a fully loaded semi-automatic handgun, and ammunition.
Police are investigating where that gun came from, but they have learned Green bought the 9mm legally in 2012 in Maryland after being diagnosed with a mental illness.
The family let our detectives know that this suspect had had this condition for at least a year and that in the past he had been prescribed medication.
University President Wallace Lowe says he doesn't know if the school knew of Green's troubles.
But for today, I would like to focus on our mourning and our thoughts for the victims.
Now, police say that Green left behind no note, and we have found no online postings, nothing, no writings, no manifestos, anything that would indicate what happened, why he started shooting. In College Park, Brad Bell, ABC 7 News.
Thank you, Brad. Now, folks, stay with ABC 7 and WJLA.com for up-to-the-minute coverage of this tragedy at the University of Maryland.